Welcome, Ryan Whippet Clark, to the Fitted Health Summit. Mate, it's an honour to have you on board here and just to sit down and speak to you. One of the reasons why I wanted to sit down and chat to you, I haven't chatted to you about this yet. It's when we've known each other for years, right? And and what I love about what you do, mate, is that you have this incredible, great attitude. I'm not trying to do that to blow smoke up your ass, but we've been business partners in some sense, and I just love to work with you. And that translates into how you train people as well. And I find that that's why you see great success with clients. Do you agree on that? And is that a conscious thing that you're trying to implement into training people?
Mate, I think attitude in whatever you do is the key ingredient to success or happiness or whatever. If you're doing something you enjoy doing, you're gonna be confident. You're gonna be happy to be there, and that comes across to people in the way that you treat them and the attitude that you show towards the success that you're trying to get for them in reaching their goals. Especially with personal training, people come to the gym because they need something. They need guidance, they need that inspiration, they need that. And, if someone is there and willing to have me in their team as part of doing that, then, they deserve everything that I've got to give to them, and every bit of knowledge I've got. Plus, don't get me wrong, it can be hard at 5 a.m. to put a smile on the face when it's 5 degrees and you're running outside. But I love what I do, and I love the clients that I get. And everyone's got a different story. Everyone's on a different journey. So for me, having a good attitude and a positive attitude isn't hard. It's part of my personality anyway. And I think, the success that we've had in my personal training and also in group training up at Life Cycle Fitness is really kind of a part of that, a testament of the whole team's attitude and the sort of sessions that we run. So yeah, it is. It's not a conscious thing that I get out of bed and think I've got to have a good attitude today, but it's just part and parcel of enjoying your job.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what I mean. Like you are seeing great success with a lot of people with Life Cycle Fitness. Like a lot of my mates are joined, and that they're seeing great success as well. And you touched on talking about this group fitness element that you guys are doing up there, and it's a fantastic concept. It gives the people opportunity to train more. And that's what was leading me into my next question. That it just seems that you and Changa and those boys, you seem to know what's happening next. And I don't know if that's a conscious thing as well. And what I wanted to ask you is that where do you see the next thing then? Well, like, what do you see? How can we help more people in the next 5 years?
Mate, I think, in terms of being a conscious decision to always be looking at what's coming out, what's next, constantly studying and trying to learn more about the body, the way it's meant to move, all those things. Yes, that is a conscious decision. There's no point, no sort of industry or no science or anything stays stagnant and is happy with where they are. You always want to be progressing to the next level. And for us, a lot of that at the moment is a lot of functional movement patterns. We've been following a guy from the States called Naudi, and he does functional patterns. And we've got his course. Chang and I did his course last year, and level 1, and he's coming back out to do a course out of our gym in September. And he's doing his level 1 and level 2, and it's all based around myofascial release, posture, technique, and training in the right movement patterns for the body. I don't agree with a lot of heavy lifting. It's not the style of body that I want. And I think as well, for people that do want it, that's great. If you're doing it in the right way, then so be it. But if you want to look after your body, then for me, it's more about, sort of preserving the body and being able to train sustainably. And that to me is lifting lighter weights. In my day-to-day work, I don't have to, I've got a couple of kids and they don't weigh that much. So I'm not picking up hundreds of kilos of things. The shopping doesn't weigh that much. So it's more about, doing things that I can implement into my day-to-day life. And I think that works a lot for our clients as well. And the group atmosphere is awesome for that. It pushes people. People are more motivated in a group setting. That's common knowledge, So, I think
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
part of our success is staying at the forefront of what's happening and, trying to always progress ourselves so we can progress the client.
Yeah, exactly right. And so with that success, I mean, to start off by getting people in the gym, like we're talking about this new assessment scenario that you guys are implementing that you're seeing great results in. Can you tell me a little bit more about that and how I could benefit from that? Like I'm in that same mindset as yourself. Like I just want to continuously learn and I want to collaborate with people. I don't want to compete with trainers, and that's why we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
So tell me more about this assessment that you guys are doing that you're seeing great results in.
Yeah, so what we've just started another gym. We've got Life Cycle and we've just started another gym called eLab over in Maroubra. And we're in business with a physiotherapist. Whilst it is a bit of a gym, it's not a gym in the sense of a normal gym. Before anyone starts, we do a full body movement and health screen and fitness assessment on them, and then place them into a level of training which is suitable for their body. A lot of people want to train and they want to train how they may have trained 10 years ago because that's when they were fit. But times change, your body's injuries, getting older. So we're really able to pinpoint what people need and then set goals for them and help them achieve their goals individually in a small group setting, because I strongly believe, the small group setting or big group setting is more motivating. And people kind of train harder. Plus, you've got the ability to learn from other people. And a lot of it comes back to our functional patterns study that we've been doing and getting people to move in the right patterns for their type of body and going, back to basics with a lot of our training in corrective exercise and pushing people to move in the right patterns and planes of motion and posture and technique and all that sort of stuff. And I think the results we're getting is really helping people in their day-to-day life more, and the physical results and the aesthetics results kind of come from that as well.
Yeah, and what I like about it is you said a couple of things, like it's individualized and it's functional. It's for everyday life, and I think that
Yeah.
we're losing concept in this in the sense of that we are starting to lift heavier, and it's becoming a lot more. I don't know, from my perspective, I just see it's becoming a lot more egotistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From the guys side of things. So I mean, like I just want to train. Like I did the whole lifting heavy, doing cleans and snatches and stuff like that. And I could have benefited by doing some form of full body scan as well myself. So I mean, for someone like me who's lifted heavy, what would you say to someone like me to improve my health and fitness, and if I've got lower back pain and stuff like that?
Yeah, the way that we're going a lot is a lot of posture. Everything kind of revolves around having a strong, a solid foundation. Good posture alignment helps to create strength in the body, and it gives you good pillars of strength to move from. For me, a lot of my clients now, especially sort of, not my older clients, younger clients, but a lot of the ones sort of around their 30s and 40s that have been pretty fit and have just sort of fallen off the wagon a bit, I'm finding that a lot of myofascial release is really good for them. And then, setting goals of, getting a body scan, a DEXA scan, or using the in-body guys to find out where your muscle mass is at, find out where your fat levels are at, and work towards reducing your fat. If you want to build muscle mass, you work towards building muscle mass. Some people don't need to build muscle mass. They just need to lose fat.
Yeah, exactly right.
Hang on, my little 3-year-old wants some more food.
Nah, don't worry about it. Go for it.
Hang on, buddy. I'll get you some. I'll get you some soon. So yeah, for me, that scanning process of finding out what the individual wants as a person, what they want out of their training. It's all goal based. Like that's, if you don't have a goal, what are you doing there? So that's sort of
exactly
where I like to start and give people a reason to train for the next 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 6 months, 12 months, And you see people hit their goals, and that's what inspires them to keep going, and that's what gives me my job satisfaction.
Yeah, exactly right. And mate, that's perfect. Exactly I think that's where we should be heading, And I mean, there's two things that still frustrate me, and it's good that things are frustrating me, and that's sort of what keeps me in the game a little bit. But we're still at 60% obesity, in Australia, and there's still one in two people are suffering from anxiety or depression. So we're getting fatter and unhealthier, and there's more trainers. So, I mean, how can we help more people? How can we solve this?
Like,
as if we're pioneers.
To be honest, I think, unfortunately, and without saying things that are going to, upset too many people or whatever, but I honestly think the government's got a lot to do with it. And I think the big medical suppliers have got a lot to do with it. Obviously, there's a lot of money in antidepressants. There's a lot of money in fixing people's problems. If you fix them at the source of the problem, which is reducing the amount of sugar kids can eat, reducing the junk food that's available, putting higher taxes on it, and using that money to put back into to helping people or the health system, then you're kind of killing their ability to make a lot of money. And that's unfortunately
exactly right.
For kids, I've got two little kids, people my age and younger, and, we're not as healthy as what the people were before us. And it's because there's more shit available to eat, unfortunately. And it's pushed on us through advertising and whilst no one's perfect, you're always going to eat a bit of this or a bit of that. It's learning moderation and not making that junk food so easily available and so cheap. Like it's cheaper to go and eat. It's cheaper to go and get a feed at Macca's than it is to go and get a proper meal. So and as I said, it's not like you're never going to eat Macca's again, or it's not never going to eat hot chips or chocolate or whatever. But it's that ability to get it, and the fact that it's thrown down your kids' throats, that's what's cool to eat. And it's not. And I think parents have got to stand up and take responsibility, and that's where the buck lies. Young kids they're not able to make that decision for themselves. Their parents are putting it in the cupboards. Their parents are putting it in the fridge, and inadvertently putting it in the kid's mouth.
Yeah, definitely. And that's exactly what my brother and Eloise, she's a nutritionist, and they're feeding their kids unbelievable amounts. So and
he should start doing it himself.
I know.
Get his leg in shape.
Yeah, mate, he should. Mate, he's always sending me text messages like, "I run 3Ks today," you know what I mean, all that stuff.
I never see it 6, Johnny.
Mate, I've got to ask this question, right? My auntie's a massive fan of Bondi Rescue and your crew. It's a bit of a superficial question, but how do you guys keep your figure like you do all year round?
Mate, the best thing about the group of guys down the beach is we're active. You don't take on the job as a lifeguard if you're not an active person. You don't want to be out on the beach all day or in the water. So the level of training that we've got to do to pass our fitness test, which we all just had to do last week, is it's pretty decent. There's an 800-meter swim. Then you go straight in a pool, and then you go straight to the beach, and you've got to do a 600-meter run, 600-meter paddle, 600-meter swim twice through. So it's not an easy fitness test to pass, and the boys are kind of put under the pressure to maintain that fitness. A lot of the boys paddle. They paddle a lot. They'll run laps of the sand. They'll swim. I've been helping a few of the boys out, getting into the gym a little bit, and really planning their sessions around things that we do at work. Rotation, picking patients up, putting them on boards. A lot of posture work. We spend a lot of time paddling. We're inwardly rotated, so it's about sort of opening the chest back up and pulling ourselves back in so that you don't get that lower back pain and all that sort of stuff. So the boys train hard. That they put the hours into training and it shows. Big rescues happen and they're ready to go. But don't get me wrong, some of the boys are doing it for the aesthetics. They want to look good. And,
we still want to look good.
Summer really kicks in. A few of them are up at the spray tan joint getting one of those. But it's mate, it's a healthy environment. It's a good place to be.
Yeah. And what it is that comes back to that attitude. I mean, you guys all just seem to want to be around that environment, which is great to see. Especially like you guys are first on scene for saving lives. Like my girlfriend's a paramedic as well, so I was just talking to her about you guys today. Like you work in well with the paramedics, and that was my next question. How do you, when you're in that environment, how do you like how do you stay so grounded and so calm? You know, like I'll just be
Mate,
freaked out. Like
it's perfect timing that you ask. 2 days, well, what was it? Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, like a couple of days ago, we had, I was out having a surf with a couple of people that I wasn't working, and I saw the boys race down for a rescue. And I knew there was a big bunch of school kids. It was all over the news. They were swimming at Bondi, and about 10 of them got into trouble and started drowning. And the boys ran out, and 4 or 5 kids on each rescue board, and it's hard work. And so I got out and started running down. I ran a couple of 100 meters across the sand, and by the time I got there, they'd pulled 2 unconscious patients in, and we had to pretty much CPR a kid, and all going well, he'll make a full recovery. But keeping that level head, it comes back to your training that you do, the attitude that you've got towards your job. Like how important we all know it is, and how what we're going to do at the early stages of rescuing someone, or treating an unconscious or a dead person, that we know that how important that is in their chain of survival, and that's the the attitude the boys have, and keeping a level head. Some situations are harder than others, but we've all done a lot of training. We've all been in that situation a bunch of times, and it just comes with all part of the job. If I was in the stock exchange, and someone just told me I'd lost $1 million, I'd probably cry and fall to the floor. But people know how to deal with that and win it back and do it that way. Same as gamblers, whatever. Everyone gets used to their line of work, and I mean, fingers crossed, everyone comes out the other side okay.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, mate, thank you for that. So just let everyone know what you're doing next, and where we can find you a lot more, mate, because I think that, in all honesty, I'm not saying that just to be a hard promoter or anything like that. I'm bringing people together that truly inspire me, and that are doing inspiring things and seeing great results. So, just tell us more about how we can find you and what you're doing next.
Mate, all my stuff that I'm doing is sort of on my Instagram at Whippet _, and you can follow that. And my 2 gyms, Life Cycle Fitness, in sort of eastern suburbs, like that's in Bronte, and E-Lab over in Maroubra. You can follow those gyms, and I'm also launching an online program called the Body Challenge, which will be available in the next couple of weeks online. It's a 3-stage program, all nutrition-based, personalised nutrition-based, based on what you need, your height, your weight, your age, how much fuel you need to fuel your body for the type of exercise you're doing. I'll give you 12 weeks of training, and it really sets people up to learn what they need to eat on their days that they're training, their days that they're not training. So how they're fueling their body, so that we can, not overeat, not undereat. We don't want to be just chewing into our muscle resources. We want to be burning fat. We want to, sculpt our body, and we want to feel energetic, and you want to look good. People do want to look good, and the results that we've got, we just did a 30-day challenge, the first stage of it, out of the gym up at Life Cycle, and had some huge results come in. So the Body Challenge will be available online very shortly. So if you're interested, check that out. And it's just a really sustainable way of learning to eat and provide your body with the right fuel and nutrition, plus getting some good training tips, and you'll be better off for it.
Yeah, well, and what I love about that is that it's taken this concept of just, when you go to your doctor and get assessed. I mean, it's coming from people that actually see results. It's not coming from I mean, I'm not talking negatively about them, that industry as well, but it's coming from preventative health measures. I mean, from us as well. So, mate, I strongly believe in that, and I'll be definitely referring a lot more people to that as well. So, which is awesome. Mate, just a couple of final little fun questions. So you kind of answered them for me anyway, but run or swim?
I'll swim any day.
Heavy weights or body weights?
Body weights.
Kettlebell or dumbbell?
I'll go kettlebell.
Sweet or savoury?
Sweet.
Money or lifestyle?
Lifestyle. There's no point having a lot of money if you're not happy. But don't get me wrong, a bit of money can help with your lifestyle.
Food or fitness?
I think I think a lot of it comes down to nutrition. You can't out train a bad diet. So, but in saying that, I love my fitness. So that's hard to split that one.
Yeah, perfect. Gym or outdoor?
Outdoor if you've got a good place to train. The world's too good to sort of stay indoors all the time unless it's 5 degrees and raining, and stick me in a gym anytime.
Mate, that's like Yorkshire from where my family's from. It's 5 degrees and raining all the time, and that's in summer.
Hull.
Yeah, Hull. Oh, hey, mate. So, any final words of any wisdom for us then before we head off?
Yeah, enjoy what you do. If you're going to take on a new training and try and change your lifestyle, make it fun. You don't want to be slaving away at something you don't love, and the results will come to the people that are enjoying it. The stress is taken out of it a little bit. Surround yourself with good people and try and influence people to make a change as well. There's no point going on it alone. It's not an easy journey for a lot of people to get fit and to get healthy and to get in shape. So grab a friend, grab a family member, and there you go. That's 2 people that are going to be better off for it. And to be honest, let's all work towards bringing that obesity rate down. It's not fair on the next generation of kids to grow up in a world where they think it's okay to be obese, and the impact it's going to have on their life is so detrimental. So I think anyone in the industry, it's up to them to get it out there to try and make a change and put the kids first and the future first of their health, and not the pockets of the big wigs that are selling the shit.
Yeah, exactly right, mate. I appreciate your time, Whip. You're a legend, mate.
No dramas, mate. Anytime.
You're a legend. All right, cheers, buddy.